What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Major Keys podcast, talking to keyboard players about music and life and everything in between. Today, as always, we have a special guest, Miss Natalie Ragins.
Greetings.
Yes, how's it going?
I can't complain. How are you, sir?
I'm good. You could complain. It ain't gonna help nothing though. Uh, but no, at the top of the year, as we're filming this, is at the top of the year. Just give us a brief what you got going on, and then we'll get into your start into playing music and all that sort of stuff. But what are you currently kind of working on, kind of doing?
Top of the year. So I'd like to say I'm glad to be here. And I think this is January 16th. A
Mm-hmm.
few days ago, I just got back from Antigua
Mm-hmm.
with Donnie McClurkin. We did a concert Sunday night. So travel was interesting because I'm not sure if you even know, we had snow here in Atlanta.
Right,
So it
right,
was
right.
real tricky. That travel that day, they grounded a lot of planes. Fast forward, I got up there Saturday morning hoping that everything was well. So it is. It, I'm here. Travel was still interesting, but glad to be here. Let me see. My birthday's April. I plan to, ooh, now I'm saying I'm going to stick by it.
This is
I'm planning on having my album completed by April, my birthday, April
Woo!
29th. That's the
Yeah,
plan. Hopefully I follow through.
man. Hopefully, and then by the time this comes out, it'll be either close or like, man, we can. That
Yes,
sounds great.
yes,
Sounds
yes.
great to me.
Or at least a
Um,
single.
got you, got you. But yeah, so let's start from the top. We always ask everybody like, how did you start playing keys, or how'd you get into music in general, which led you to playing keys and all that sort of stuff? To give us a rundown.
Short version, I was picking up songs by ear. I feel like I started late. So my
You can give us the long
mom,
version too. We got time. You can give us the.
no, no,
Give us
no. My mom
the
noticed. I'll give you a short. This is a short version. You might be like, oh Lord. So I was maybe 11. So she's some kind of way I was end up being 12. She said, hey, I've enrolled you into piano lessons. I want you to go. Don't tell them what you know. Go there, blah, blah, blah. By 13, I had my first job playing at for a church choir. Well, that's the short version. And I just listened to people, studied other people. Those lessons ended maybe like a year and a half later. Like, give me a short version. And I just began to listen to people, buy books. I went to college, but my degree is actually in education. So I went like middle school education, majored in language arts. So studies minor, was like, well, if this music thing doesn't work out, I have this to fall back on and teach. So although I've been able to incorporate things that I've learned through my coursework, I guess you could say, getting my
Mhm.
bachelor's in education. However, music is, that's my heart. So
Got
that's
you.
the short version.
Well, I'm gonna go back. I got to go back and get some details. So
What's going on?
you said you started at age 11 or age 11 or 12. You said
Piano lessons
piano
12,
lessons 11. Okay, yeah, yeah.
if I'm not mistaken. Yes, I was picking up songs. So my first actual piece of like a keyboard, anything, my
Mm-hmm.
mom bought me this little organ. I was 8 and I was doing this,
Mm-hmm.
played at the cross. I was hearing little melodies. Dun, dun,
Uh-huh.
dun, 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 dun. So little keyboards were popular. So now you're getting the details. Little keyboards
Yeah.
became popular. So I was picking up little songs like
Mm-hmm.
maybe Lean on Me.
Okay.
And then I started picking up other songs that I've heard at church or on the radio. My mom took notice. This time, I'm a kid. So I'm okay. You want the longer version? I played sax first.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I was in middle school, so which goes with the age, whatever. So now
Okay.
I'm 12 playing the sax, and I laugh, but I love sports. But I would play. I was over there. I wouldn't say I was really good. I was playing basketball a little, my fingers would get jammed. So it was an
Mm-hmm.
easy decision. I didn't feel I was really good on sax. I was like, I don't really sound good. I was always an honest kid, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So Now I'm 12,
Hmm.
taking piano lessons. That's moving really fast.
Hmm.
Easy decision. I think I'm gonna stop playing basketball. My fingers, they don't get jammed anymore. I picked this. So then
Hmm.
13, I got offered a job by my pastor. Someone said, "Hey, listen to her. She can really play." He said, "Hey, would you like to play for the Youth for Christ choir?"
Hmm.
Okay. I'm the same. Like what you're getting now is I was like, okay,
Straightforward, straightforward. Yeah.
sure. If you say so, you think so. Okay. And I
Hmm.
kept learning. So middle school was
Hmm.
when I began. If someone want to say my career, I would just say yes, playing for pay.
Got you. Were you like classically trained, or was this like someone at your church taught you sort of vibe?
Great question. Someone at my church,
Hmm.
although I would get books, I would go, I don't know if you meet for me, I would go to Guitar Center, get books out of the guitar section.
Yeah.
They have like jazz standards, those
Okay.
real books. And I would, when I was in college at the University of Georgia, to get like certain, we'd say, to get like through certain classes, I had music appreciation.
Okay.
So that was standard piano one. So I'm learning little classical pieces, and I like classical and the music appreciation. So we had,
Hmm.
oh God, you aging me, like cassettes, or they would have the music with different artists, Chopin, Bach. So I
Hmm.
would have to listen, which I actually enjoyed it. So
Yeah.
no, I wasn't classically trained. That person was gospel.
Okay.
However, I incorporated what I learned with how I play.
Okay. Got you. Got you. So so from from like middle school to like the end of high school,
Mhm.
two questions. Did you like notice yourself, okay, like I actually am getting good? And then also, did you ever gig outside of just playing at church on Sundays? Or yeah.
Yes. I noticed, but I was so, it's kind of weird. I consider myself an introvert,
Hmm.
but when I'm playing, I'm not.
Right.
Take that however that
Hmm.
goes. So in high school, I didn't let the band director know, because remember, I quit sax in
Okay,
middle
right.
school. So by high school, the band director also had a jazz band. Some
Hmm.
kind of way I stumbled upon, that's how I remember. I was like, I play a little. And this thing, I'm playing Killer Joe on the piano, and he was shaking his head because I'm doing this by ear.
Yeah.
So it's like, dang, I wish I had. While I'm thinking he was shaking his head, we never really had a whole conversation. I'm
Yeah.
thinking he was shaking his head, like, dang, I wish I would have gotten a hold of her sooner.
Right.
Like, so we could, because now my ear is stronger than my sight reading, although I
Hmm.
still do it. Because, it's crucial, actually. It's helpful,
Hmm.
especially like, so gigging. High school, I was playing for some more choirs. That one choir became like five choirs and playing for
Okay.
it. Was outside of gospel. Yeah, once I've done, did weddings and
Hmm. Okay.
playing different styles. But of course, once I graduated, I'm in college. So I was in school in Athens, Georgia, like an hour or so out.
Right,
So
right. You're from Atlanta?
I'm from
Okay,
Atlanta,
gotcha. Okay.
one of few. Yes,
Okay,
one of.
gotcha.
So yes, but I did outside gigs once I got to college and later,
Okay.
but it was mostly church growing up.
Hmm. Got you. And did you like when you were younger, kind of getting started, did you know that you were good early, or did people just kind of told you? Or did you just know in your head, like, actually, I'm kind of solid at this?
You're funny. I'm
That's-
kind of. I don't know if I looked at myself that way. I do remember after church, I knew the deacons at the church, Deacon Bunkley and Deacon Lawyer. A few of them had keys to the church.
you gotta be a deacon with that last name. You got to.
And I would get tapes from them, and they would make tapes for the
Oh,
service
right,
because I want
right,
to hear what I sound like. So I was that person.
right. Okay.
I'm probably a little weird, but it's okay. I'll accept it. And so I'm trying to get better. So I want to hear, oh, I did that right there. Oh, I can do that better. And eventually, I don't know why they did this, but it was a pretty large church. I had a key. I remember having a key to the church, to one of the doors. I don't, but I mean, I was a trustworthy kid, I guess.
Right.
So I would go in and practice on the piano at their church, the church. So I was more of people would probably say, "Oh, she's really good," but it wasn't where I wanted to be. I knew my deficiencies, and
Hmm.
I had quite a many.
Hmm. You had a lot of like self-awareness as
Yeah,
a
I was a
young,
little
yeah,
different,
yeah.
and I know that. Yeah, that's a little different.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
just it's interesting because some people that I've interviewed, like they're like, oh man, once I was two, I was just singing, I was just playing da 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 da, and like they just know like that's what the after a while, like maybe after a year or
no,
two, that's what I want to do. But also they're just
no.
like, because I didn't, I was more so just going with the flow of what it was. It wasn't like when I was learning, it wasn't like, oh man, I want to get better, man, I want to get better. I'm just like going with the flow of my natural progression.
How old
But
were
it was
you?
I started I was putting piano lessons when I was 5
See what I'm
because
saying? Early. See, you started right.
but
I'm late.
I would like so the story is with me like I would like sing and dance around the house. I thought I wanted to learn how to play guitar. My dad was like, "No, I'm gonna put you in piano lessons first because there's more essentially there's more opportunity with piano
Okay.
than playing guitar." And like I never even got back on guitar. But you know,
Wow.
I was just kind of doing it. I didn't realize that I really liked it for real, for real. Like, I mean, like I liked it, but it wasn't like, oh, a passion, maybe
Yes.
up until like middle school, high school. You know what I'm saying? Like that's when I realized, oh, this is what I actually like want to do for real. Like when I was like 5, 6, like I was kind of just going with the flow of what I was doing. I'm like, hey, I'm in
Yeah.
piano lessons. I'm learning. I'm getting better, I guess. You know, so whatever. But it wasn't like, oh man, I got to work on this. This like I like the self. It wasn't there like that. The self awareness wasn't
Okay.
really like so it's just interesting to hear. So you so you did that and then you went to college, but you didn't go to school for music.
Correct. Yeah, I went, and I think I started early. Was that early childhood education? Yes, I did not go to school for music. I went for middle school education, major language arts,
Hmm.
social studies minor.
Was it because
It was
you didn't
easy.
oh psst.
I
uh
was smart. I was a nerd. I was smart, and that was easy for me.
yeah, yeah.
English A's all throughout school. Like I was that kid. But go ahead, ask your question. I
But
definitely interrupted.
no,
Sorry
no,
about
no, it's
that.
all good. So it wasn't so music wasn't a career aspiration at that point. You were just kind of doing it and you knew you were good at it.
Yes. And
Okay.
you know what, Zach, honestly, cue music. Honestly, it's almost daily. I'm like, really doing the right thing. I'm still
That's
like,
crazy,
I guess it's working out.
especially like on paper. On paper, when you look at your accolades, which we'll get to,
Oh,
it's
don't
just
do that.
like why wouldn't you like what are you talking about? Like you've got it. Like it's obviously it's good. If you look at the list, obviously it's working out fine. You know.
That's deep there.
Yeah.
That's deep. That's deep.
Right.
That's what you're accurate. That's so like sometimes when I don't know, it may be a movie job or something, or whatever the job, the task is.
Hmm.
Every now and then someone will ask for, like in this field, industry field, they'll ask for more so resumes. They'll ask for, what is it? The other thing. It's the one sheeter.
I know what you're getting at. Cover. I know what you.
Mm, let me see. I can't even think of the term.
Mhm.
Whatever that term is.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
then when I update it, I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I did that. It's always something new. So yeah, it looks like, but being in it, it doesn't
Mhm.
always feel like this
For
is
sure.
successful.
For sure. Also, side note, my parents went to UGA. That's how my
Yay! Good
that's
people.
how
Those some good people. I always knew you had some good people.
that's how they met. And then but
Bio. That's what I mean. Bio.
bio, the bio, yeah. Yeah, that's how my parents met. And then also another, I don't know if you know Greg Satterthwaite. I don't know if you know him. He's a jazz cat. He's from, I feel like he lived in Florida.
Okay.
He teaches at UGA, but like he was on the, if I air this in order, he was on the last episode, but he went to UGA, or like he teaches at UGA
Oh,
now.
I have to
But
check that
anyways,
out. I
cool
feel like
person.
that name is familiar, but I'm not sure. Not
Cool
totally
person.
sure.
He be in Atlanta on the jazz scene now. He came maybe a couple years ago.
Awesome. Awesome.
Um But anyways, okay, so you go to school,
Hmm.
you don't major in music, but you're still doing music in school?
Yeah, I'm playing for like community choir in Atlanta. So I kind of play back. I played at a church there.
Hmm.
Or- Yeah, my mom knew some people who had affiliations with my home church. She asked them to look after me. They
Okay.
were their last name's the
Hmm.
Platt. So I would call them the Platts. So they
Hmm.
looked after me,
Got
Mr.
you.
Platt, Mr. and Mrs. Platt, and they had their own kids. But you meet some people, and it's like,
Right.
hey, baby, hey,
Uh-huh.
mom. So that was my mom away from home, Mrs. Platt and Mr. Platt.
Hmm.
He was, dad away from home.
Nice. So where does the shift go from I'm not really trying to do music for real. I'm doing this early childhood education or like whatever you major in at UGA. So where is that shift from that going to all right, I'm gonna do music for real? Like what's that transition?
I feel like when I was doing my student teaching, I don't say this often, but there was the person who was, I guess she was the main teacher. I'm killing these names. I
Hmm.
know her name, but I won't say her name. I'm not sure she's still with us.
Hmm.
She noticed I was incorporating, which people do now at charter schools anyway. Now, I was incorporating music into language arts, which I thought was cool.
Hmm.
So how do I say it? A lot of the school I was working at for free for months so I can get my paper. The, a lot of the students, they were inner city African American kids. So a lot of the kids at that time, if I can recall, the males, we'll say the girls, boys and girls, they like hip hop,
Hmm.
urban music. So I incorporated when they were doing poetry, I incorporated a different approach. Like, hey, let's incorporate rap.
Hmm.
So why don't you rap your lyrics? Which is nothing now to
Right.
think of because it is poetry.
Right.
So I brought in the arts. She
Okay.
was old school, rigid teacher. And she said to me, I think you need to pursue music.
Mm.
I'm not sure if education is should be. Just I guess it was just in me.
Yeah.
That was my go-to. Whereas now it's like actually incorporate that. It's, at that time maybe it was a little, predated. Maybe I was a little ahead of that system they were in. So with that, I think I took it more as, yeah, I have this degree. In worst case scenario, I'll use it.
Hmm.
But I'm gonna go ahead and thank you. I appreciate that. I'm gonna go ahead and do. I was kind of insulted actually, probably
Hmm.
very. But I said
Why
it
why though? Why though?
because I felt that she said I wasn't a good teacher. Go
Mm.
play. You don't teach well.
Oh, I get that. I get that.
Opposed to, okay. So however, that's actually the way you word it. Like, why? That actually is very, very good. What you said. Like, why was that? Why did you consider that an insult? She just saw something. Maybe she did.
Hmm.
So I went more music track.
Hmm.
That's kind of how it went.
Hmm.
Which, like I said, I still in with social studies. I meet people around the world. And, I'm cool. I'm like you said. My greeting to you. I'm the same. And how I refer to other people. It's like I'm the same with everybody. On
Yeah.
the inside, I might be like, oh my God, that's so and so. Oh my God, that's so and so. Maybe.
Hmm. Right.
But outwardly, it's like, hello,
Hmm. Right.
Mr.
For sure.
President. Hello, Mr. Zach. It's so,
Got
yeah.
you.
So that's I would say,
Hmm.
I'll say she planted a seed.
Nice.
Like, okay, maybe I will give this music a shot. And I wouldn't even say I even had that conversation per se. I think I did though. I think events just kept happening. I got
Okay.
calls for this, got calls for that. Um, I got called, hey, can you play for this church? Hey, can you be a musical director here?
Hmm.
And then what I called my first official job as a church musical director, I was offered a package, with benefits, health, dental. And my mom
Nice.
didn't even know that existed like that with musicians. So she was on, she's old school. So she's like, get that degree, you get that job, get those
Right.
benefits. So that's what that represented.
Hmm.
I'll be safe.
For sure.
I mean, this is a
Especially
little more risky.
since you got to that level, like that is like, hey, this is for real, for real. We got all the stuff, all that.
Yeah.
So
So we kind of threw my mom was like, you got a job with benefits playing at a church? You can do music? You love doing it?
I'm gonna be honest. This is the first time that I've really heard about it.
Oh,
I didn't know that I didn't know that it got that deep. I mean, like I know like there are some churches that like, hey, you're good and you don't need to do any other gigs.
hmm
I know of those. I know that that sort of thing exists. I didn't know the
hmm
benefits thing that
That's
that.
how I began doing that. And then,
Mhm,
and I was real, I guess I mentioned before, the nerd, like do what I do what I'm supposed to do.
mhm.
So I went, I laugh about it now. Now it sounds crazy. I want to say a full 3 years, never missing a day, never missing a
Never
Sunday,
missing a Sunday. Yeah,
never missing a Bible study, never
mhm.
missing a rehearsal.
That makes sense.
Does it though? Does it?
I I
Now it's like, girl, go take that
I mean,
gig,
like,
take that.
I feel like, especially like since you were just getting there and you're kind of just getting into this, it's just like I ain't finna miss no Sunday. I'm like, nah. And then, especially if you don't have anyone or you don't know if anyone can really like take your spot, like while you're gone, it's just like, hey, I gotta make sure that I'm there because I'm,
Well, go
or
ahead,
I
go
don't
ahead.
know. No, I was like the first few years
hmm
at my church. You know, if there was any gig, well, most of the time they weren't really worth it. Whatever other gig that I was doing, but
hmm
I'm like, dog, I can't miss a Sunday. I'm like, hey, we're gonna go on vacation. It's Saturday afternoon till Sunday afternoon to Saturday night. I'm like, you know, I
Wow.
can't, you know. So it was, I didn't miss a Sunday at my church for like the longest, except for like a
Really?
family emergency. No, no, no. Like I've been there. Now I've been. It's 2017, so 2025 it'll be 8 years.
Wow. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I hadn't missed a Sunday for real, except for like a family emergency, and then last year I started doing some dates that like take me out of the way that I can't
hmm
miss any Sunday. But like up until then, up until like 2023, I hadn't really missed any Sundays.
Wow, congratulations. Well, to make it make sense, that
Mhm.
church job was not right after college. There were other
Mm-hmm.
things before that, so I want to be clear. I didn't just go out of college and
Oh
it
yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
all
for sure,
pretty
for
like
sure.
that. Yeah, did played here, played there, and I wasn't like I made that sound like I just all over the place. I wasn't all over the place, but I definitely have played for a few churches before that church. And then after that, while I was there, I was like, I want to get my feet wet touring. I want to see what that feels like.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
then came the touring.
Got you. So what came first? Because I know you've done plays, you played with some big artists. I want to know what big gig was first.
If I'm big, I don't want to sound like
Big as in okay, you've played with Tyler Perry,
yes,
you played with Donnie McClurkin. I know those are the
yes,
two biggest ones that I can think of off the top.
yes. Okay,
But I'm
well
just
we'll do
like
that.
I just don't know. I don't know the timeline. I know that they're
Okay,
on the
so
list. I
that's
just don't know the
fair.
order. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Timeline, Dunny came first.
Okay. So tell me how that came about. How did you meet Donnie McClurkin, or like how did you get involved in that sort of situation?
Okay, okay. I officially met Donnie or Pastor Donnie McClurkin. I want to say it was around September 2005
Okay.
to give you a sense of we in 20, I'm going in 20 years right now of
Nice.
now. Then I have this saying, you meet people until they meet you. You ever met somebody and you be like, you see them again and they be like, what's your name? You be like, Zach, I already met you, but okay. And
Dog.
then depending on who you're around, they
Yeah.
meet you. Hi, this is Zach. Nice to meet you. Now they remember you, Zach. So I want to
Hmm.
say I saw him before then. You're at a service and somebody comes. I think he came in. He was there to preach or something, and he sang a song, and I might have been on the keys or organ, but it was random, and I figured it was something. Hey, I can remember that. So officially, so that's why I say officially 2005.
Okay.
It was somewhere in North Carolina. Trent Phillips called me to fill in. I was filling in for at the time Dario, who was his assignment with that particular event was playing organ. They had a six-piece band.
You
They
said
had
Dario?
Dario,
Like
Dario
Dario
Edgecombe,
Groom? No, no, no.
Dario
Okay, okay.
Edgecombe.
I don't know who that
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
He's great. He's great. He's the right now from the MD at New Birth.
Okay.
But he plays multiple instruments. So he's playing keys there, but he plays bass. Wait, when you ever see the Stellars on Daniel Moore
Hmm.
MD, he's on bass.
Okay, got you.
but he also,
I know who Trent Phillips is because I
yeah,
know
yeah, yeah.
Cornelius
All right.
Spencer. I don't know if you know Cornelius Spencer.
Yes, I
Our
know
Cornelius.
Cornelius.
Yeah, yeah. So like I know I've never met Trent Phillips, but like
Yes.
I know Cornelius, so that's how I know who Trent Phillips is.
Okay. Yeah, so
Yeah.
Trent was MDing at the time, and which
Hmm.
he is now, but he was MDing and he was playing main keys. Dario was playing organ, I think with Ox, more
Hmm.
so organ. And that's what I was coming in to fill in on organ. Fast
Hmm.
forward, few more shows. I think Dario might have been doing something else. Fast forward, I ended up in the mix of kind of moving up to first call when someone couldn't make it. So then I became, I could fill in any, sounds like sports. I could fill in any of those positions, the key positions,
Hmm.
mains, organ, or ox.
Hmm.
So wherever the need was. Fast forward, so sometimes I would fill in as the MD.
Hmm.
December, not December, February of 2010, which now we're approaching 15 years, I got the opportunity to go on a tour. They needed another keyboard player or
Hmm.
organist for one of the Tyler Perry plays called and played for quite a few of those plays.
Hmm. Was it Big Happy Family?
My Dear's Big Happy Family.
Yeah, yeah,
That was the name of the first play that I got opportunity to do. Justin actually called me. He's like, "Hey, sis, are you available? Gilbert, are
yeah.
you available? Something, something." So we talked because I had been telling him there's a few others that I was kind of wanting to tour. But I actually been thinking about touring since '08.
Hmm.
And but I wanted the right situation because if I'm gonna
Right,
leave, I gave you I told you it's a job with benefits. If I'm gonna leave, it has to make sense because now I'm at that point I would have to become an individual, work for myself,
right.
entrepreneur. So I have to cover cost. So it has
Hmm.
to make sense.
Right.
Paying my own insurance and paying, my own dental, health, all that. So he gave me a number. I said, "Oh, I think this works."
Hmm.
So, and I had already told the pastor beforehand, like, "Hey, I'm considering, I want to tour, want to,
Hmm.
so that's how. So, Donnie '05,
Hmm.
my initial time, but when I kind of was in the mix, probably '06, '07,
Okay. Yeah, I got you.
officially in the mix. And Tyler Perry, the first play, 2010.
Hmm. Got you. I would say what was the experience like I'll ask about Donnie McClurkin first. So the experience or the jump from playing at churches, MDing at churches to becoming you were the second keys player or like the organist for Donnie McClurkin or you the main keys
I
initially.
would fill in on organ and ox,
Okay.
and then sometimes fill in on main keys.
Okay.
Then it became, I mean, now it's kind of, they may call me, it may be something he feels he just takes one person, he may take me.
Okay.
They may management will call, "Hey, Natalie, are you available for this date?"
Hmm.
Okay. This date that we just did, it was full band.
Okay.
Trent spearheaded, he's running, he's driving.
Hmm.
So I think I answered your question.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I it answered the question about the specifics, but how is that jump from playing at churches and MDing at churches to playing with, hey, this is an established artist and you're kind of doing shows or maybe church services. I don't really know like what
I
circuit
feel
he
you
was
trying to
on.
be, I get you trying to be
I don't know.
PC. It's
I
fine.
don't know what circuit he was on. But like so how is that jump? How is that transition? Like, did it feel like it was more pressure, or was it just like, oh no, this is the same thing. It's just for a different person.
You've known me, what, 20 minutes? I think how do you think my response is? Probably the same. Like,
I feel like all right, well, I play for church. Cool, cool. I learned the music. Here we go.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. I
Okay.
I was okay. I think I know how this goes. Okay. He sent to me, okay, cool,
Hmm.
okay. Now I have a lot of energy when I'm on the stage, as I've said, but in person, I'm
Hmm.
okay. All right. So Zach, you asked about those specific artists, but I'm also playing for other people in between that.
Okay.
I'm
Cool. Cool.
playing
Cool.
for I've done gigs with somewhere in before that or in between Jennifer Holliday. I've done, things with Kurt Carr. So
Uh-huh.
I've been in what I call high stress.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right, ring camera. High stress, let's do this. High stress
Got you. So see,
situations.
I didn't know
I,
that. You see,
yeah, so I'm getting my
you
feet. It's
low key with it. Yeah, yeah, I play with it. Yeah, yeah.
no, no,
But
no. I'm saying it's all preparation.
for
No,
sure, for sure.
it
Yeah.
all plays a part. I had probably done a few award shows. It's things had happened. So
Hmm.
by 2010, no, that had not happened. So okay, I was thinking about this movie. I had the opportunity to play. So I'm also playing. I think by then, 2010, I think I'm playing at the SDA church. So I'm having different,
Hmm.
different artists may come through depending
Yeah.
on who the pastor is. And in my own church growing up, remember I was playing at 13.
Right.
So I ain't saying I wasn't killing it or anything, but
Yeah, yeah.
so people at that time who were big are coming through.
Hmm.
Because the pastor, for some reason, he loved to record. Rest in peace, Reverend Ariel White.
Hmm.
He
Yeah.
loves to record. So he's bringing in, Daryl Coley, who's a big deal. And I'm a kid. So these musicians are coming in. I still to this day, I don't even think they had me plugged up, but I was on the DX7. I was over there and I learned the song. I was like, I was sitting there. That's this my personality. I was a realist. I'm sitting there like
Right.
really plugged up. I'm really in the system.
Right.
Whereas any other kid would be like, oh my God, I got the opportunity. I'm sitting there like, they really have me plugged in.
Hmm.
I'm not quite sure,
Right.
but I'll take it. So yeah, the Donnie, I will say the first meeting, he was tough. Was asking me who I played for, and I was like, that doesn't matter. Oh, yeah, of course. He said, no, tell me. So
Hmm.
I'm naming names. He's like, oh. Where in my head, I'm like, it doesn't matter. I'm not person. I'm good enough to do this. Trent called me, so he knows that I can
Hmm.
handle whatever the task he's asking me to handle. But I will appease him. I don't think that's important. I get it.
Hmm.
That's how I was. I'm still like, okay, yeah, but if nobody ever hears me, I still have the skill level I have when I brought up here. However, I get it. So maybe 3 or 4 shows in, we were maybe in Jamaica or maybe the Bahamas, and he gave
Hmm.
us solos. That's when things
Okay.
changed for me and from my perspective of
Hmm.
playing with Donnie. He gave
Hmm.
us solos, and I was on maybe a rolling VK. It was a VK7 or a VK77. So it's like
Hmm.
the 1 tier or 2 tier. And he gave us solos, and that's all. Zach, I've been practicing. Remember, I told you I would get the
Yeah,
little
yeah.
tapes at the church.
Ready, ready. Yeah.
I'm ready. I'm
Hmm.
ready. I've been practicing doing I play a little piano. So we get to that and I just played. It was fun. That was fun. I'm doing all this and movement. I have my hair bouncy.
Yeah, yeah.
So afterwards, and he's not a shy person. Pastor
Hmm.
Dunn, he said, you really can play the organ. Thank you, Pastor. I appreciate that. So you really like, when you play your keys, when you did the solo, oh my, he loved me then at that point. It was Natalie can
Yeah.
do no wrong. So yeah, that's how that went.
Hmm.
The Tyler Perry, oh, awesome story. I met him in a prayer circle.
Oh, okay.
No, right before the show. Remember, I was brought in. Oh, I left out a part out. I left something out. I was
Okay.
brought in to replace someone.
Okay. For Tyler
So
Perry.
someone was being dropped off in a city, and I was getting picked up. Hey,
Oh
it's how life works.
no. Well, no.
Hey, it's
Because
tough out here.
you hear those horror stories of like,
Oh
all
no, it's a
right,
real
well,
story.
that's a real story. That hey, what was the
And
name?
I'm a woman, so
What was the name? Who got? Would I know him? Would I know
So
him?
I
I
met
think
him in the press. So before which is people don't know, like this, that's one of the most organized. He's one of the most organized people. I mean, which
nice.
makes sense why he has what he has.
Right.
People think the Madea character like it's just some impromptu. There is, I guess, some type of wiggle room he has, but it's
Mhm.
scripted.
Yeah.
We call time is always 2 hours before showtime. Two
Right.
hours before.
Hmm.
Can you imagine some musicians you want to get there 2 hours before each
Hmm.
show? So I met him in a prayer circle. I had my music. Here we go again. Remember, right? I had my music. They sent me
Yeah.
the music. So here's what you're gonna play. And of course, it's not the same as me and in real time.
Yeah.
And we were set up in remote rooms. So we had monitored.
Right. Right. Right.
He likes to control the sound.
Okay.
So this 2010, like to control the sound.
Hmm.
So prayer circle, he's leading. Hey, everybody's holding hands. He looked. He said, "So you're Natalie. You're the new keyboardist."
Hmm.
Yes. And I know in my head, oh, I'm auditioning, which is funny too, because
Hmm.
most of the biggest work I feel like I've gotten is not through audition. It's
That's
I've
usually
been
how it
thrown in
goes. It's
there.
really just you just kind of know somebody that knows somebody, and then
Yeah, I've been
yeah,
thrown in there. Like with
yeah.
Dunny, I'm thrown in there.
Hmm.
He didn't handpick me.
Right.
Someone threw me in there and he was questioning it, of course, as should.
Uh huh.
You don't know me.
Right.
What's your resume? Who are you? And
Hmm.
I'm built, I'm okay to be able to take it.
Nice.
So Tyler said, or Mr. Perry said, hey, you Natalie? Yes, yes, sir, I'm Natalie Ragins. Oh, you're playing keys? Oh, okay. All right, let's pray.
Hmm.
So now, as the band, because I knew some of the band members, they vouched for me. So
Right.
some of the horn players are like, yeah, Nat, yeah, yeah. Ah, yes. See how she blended in? See how she did it? So
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
playing my
Yeah.
organ, aux, and look, I think I'm playing keys, whatever, something. So it just people got comfortable. Some, it sounded different. I guess it was something that they needed that worked for that time. So I was grateful. That's how that happened.
Got you.
Press
Got
circle.
you. Nice. Interesting.
Before the
Uh,
show. No
yeah,
pressure.
but like yeah. Because in your mind, you're just like, oh, okay, he's gonna be paying attention, paying attention.
No pressure.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
even
No
the
pressure.
Dunny, that was a show with no rehearsals, both with no rehearsals. So I'm
Mm.
thrown in. Yeah.
Oh, that's
That's what he was
pressure.
like. Who have you played for? Like, basically, who are you?
Yeah.
Who this?
That's pressure.
But
I
no pressure.
Yeah, I do want you to speak on because especially to maybe like new musicians or um sometimes your value or sometimes we put our value on what gig we have.
Very good.
So sometimes people are like, ah, man, I ain't really killing like that because I'm not playing with any major artists. Or, man, if I start playing with a major artist or a major situation, people will finally notice that I'm killing. And then also you've got the people that are like, yeah, I like you, um, like with the mindset of, yeah, I'm playing with this big name, but I'm still just a person. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I just want you to
I mean, I'm not ignorant. I know, we know their name carries weight. We're not
right,
ignorant.
for
But
sure.
yeah, but
But
like,
just
I'm
the
okay if
value
I'm not.
as just speak to how like the value of yourself as a musician or even as a person that is not always that.
I did a panel. I was on a panel. I was fortunate enough to be a guest on a panel, maybe it was around Thanksgiving, and a musician. I think this is where you're going. You can help me. A young musician. I know his dad. He's a namesake, and he was asking us questions, and he was like, "Well, how do you stay encouraged when you're not getting a call?" Something so I told, and I didn't think it meant anything. I meant it, but
Mhm.
people, you know how it is. You
Right.
can say, all you do is save your money and you'll be amazing what you will accomplish with what you can accrue or whatever.
Hmm.
And well, that's not like if president former President Obama says, hey, save your money
Hmm.
and you'll be amazed at what you can accrue. They'll be like, oh my God, we all know people like that. It
Hmm.
depends
Yeah.
on who's the voice. So he said what he said, and I didn't think he was gonna receive it. And I said, hey, but the people they gave advice, and they were like, hey, keep practicing, keep studying. I was like, hey, because you are enough. Just remember you are enough. And they were like, yeah, wow, yeah, that's good. And I'm thinking that people don't know that, but it's
Yeah.
good to hear that because we don't always think that
Hmm.
because we're basing our, like you said, people base abilities on who's calling. When it's a lot of times it's just who fits the situation or who's comfortable with that said person.
Hmm.
It's not always about your lack of ability.
Hmm.
So for me, I mean, it can be tough because we all second guess ourselves. So if I think if you're saying what I think you're saying, for me, you just have to stay focused. Don't stop practicing. Don't stop studying.
Hmm.
Because when your name, this sounds so churchy, when your name is called, you
Hmm.
want to be what they say, you stay ready, you don't have to get ready.
Hmm. Right.
So Hopefully, did I kind of
No, no,
address?
no. That was good. That was great. That was great. I just know sometimes. Oh man, because some folk. I've heard stories like, oh yeah, you play for this person, but like you bombed on this gig at
That happens too.
Apache. I'm like, yeah, you've got this big tour, like you've got all these dates, but when it came to like when you're in town and you got to play it,
Wow.
and you got to play it backstage, or you play at Apache, like dog, you don't even know the stuff.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
So
Like just some people put more weight on their
I
value
see
as
what you're
themselves
saying.
on
I
like
see what you're
for
saying.
because of the gig that they have.
Yeah, I think Justin, did he say he says this thing? I saw it somewhere else, but he says it. If you think, oh, I want to mess. I want to mess. If you think the gig is too small for you, you think you're too big for the gig, you're too small for the big. So, what is the saying? You know what I'm talking about? Big. Let
I
me see.
I don't know exactly what you're getting at. I see where you're trying to go, but I don't know exactly what it is. But
All
it's
right.
all good.
Let me see.
If you think you're too big for the gig, then I don't know. I don't want to mess it up either.
Let me see if I can find it.
Hmm.
Um, of course I can't find it.
It's all good. It's all good. But no, that's just what I was getting at.
Yeah,
Um,
so you're saying when people minimize the importance of the smaller local gigs so
yeah.
they don't put forth
Hmm.
the same
That
work
too. That
ethic.
that that as well. That as well. Yeah. It's just a lot that goes into you having a big whatever. It just some people just emphasize too much of the optics of it, and
Yeah.
then you.
How do you feel about that?
I um it's interesting because I've played for some cool artists. I've done for some big name artists. I've done some cool things, but after doing them, and then like how you said like like how you just referred to yeah, this is Donnie. Like let me go back. After I started meeting musicians
Hmm.
that were super up there for me, and
Hmm.
like they still are. Like after I got to kind of just like talk to them and meet them, I'm like, dog, you're just a regular person.
Hmm.
You're a regular person. You just do. You're doing like we're doing the same thing. You're doing it on a different level than I am on
Hmm.
paper. But I'm like, dog, you still whatever. Like I
Hmm.
remember, like like Sean Martin. Sean Martin was one of my favorite kids. Still,
Absolutely.
still one of my favorites. But
Absolutely. Absolutely.
he really broke down. It's just like I remember one time he was on Instagram Live and
Hmm.
he was doing some corporate gig, and I'm just like, dog, you played with Kirk Franklin and you played with Snarky Puppy, but you're doing this regular
Yes.
hotel gig. But I was like, hey man, Bill still got to get paid, bro. Like
Yes.
I'm just like, it just solidified it for me. I'm just like, dog, he's still a regular person. Hey, Snarky Puppy doesn't have any shows right now today,
Yes.
or he's not on the show. Kirk Franklin's not doing anything right now. There's this opportunity that came up. I'm in Dallas. I'm gonna play this gig, and so meet,
Yes.
and then just meeting them, and then also shout out Justin Gilbert. Like when I kind of just met him and just got to know him. I'm like, he's just a regular person. He's just a
Yes.
person, um, and so that sort of thing. And then when you meet these artists too, I haven't had really a lot of horror stories with artists, but like when they meet, they're just these are just people. And
Yes.
then after that one gig, you still have to go home. Man, I opened for Robert Glasper.
Wow.
I had to go.
Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. Shout out to the Otis Redding Foundation in Macon. I
Yeah.
opened for Robert Glasper, and I had and oh man, Zach, that's so dope. That's which it was. I had to go to traffic court on Tuesday because
Oh
I
my
got a
God.
ticket.
Oh my
I was
God.
like, dog, it ain't all
Yeah.
that all the time. Like I had to go pay. I had to pay this ticket at traffic court. Like these are still regular people with regular lives. And yes, you got a gig. But like at the end of the day, it's just it is a job. It's a
Yes.
job, and then sometimes these gigs that look cool on paper,
Mm.
like you probably could have made more, if not
Hmm.
the same amount, if you would have just stayed home, done some corporate stuff, or stayed at your, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you stepping
Some,
on some feet, Zach. You stepping on some
I,
toes.
it's just what I, it's just what
I
I've,
feel where you going. I'm not going there with you. I feel where you going, Zach.
it's just what I've learned. It's just what I've
Oh
learned. I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah,
I
you know.
found the slogan.
Okay, what was it?
It's if you're too big for the small gig, you're too small for the big gigs.
Mm.
And then what I usually tell people, I found my notes. It was from
Mm.
never stop growing, learning. Things that stop growing are not alive. Stay teachable.
Hmm.
None of us know it all. Life can change at any moment. And what do you have if plan doesn't work out?
Oof.
And one of my things I have, it crosses all genres and facets to me. I said reading is fundamental, comprehension is essential, application is beneficial. So those are some.
Hey, I'll take it. I'll take it. That'll preach. That'll preach. So I want to jump into you doing your own music too,
Okay.
because like I know you have some projects out. So what was that like? I know everyone remembers. Everyone who's done music remembers like the first time that you've done it, and it's like, all right, this is what I'm gonna do again. This is what I'm not gonna do it again. So tell me about that process. Like at least just the decision to step out. All right, I'm gonna do a Natalie Ragins project, and then just what you learned from it and what you enjoy about it.
Great question. What I will say, when I released my first single, I was, it's kind of funny how I get it. I get it. People told me I had to stay in a certain, I don't want to say box, but we'll say box. So like they were like, well, what is it? I said, well, I like jazz, I like gospel, I like R&B, I like whatever. They said, no, you have to have a certain, you have to fall under something.
Mm.
So then when the song I released, it was the first song I released was called Worship and Praise. It's
Hmm.
a gospel song. It's a song dear to me.
Hmm.
It incorporates the like island vibes, things I like. Piano, I get to play, I get to solo, I get to do organ, I like percussion, and I love vocals. So it incorporated all of that. But they were like, no, you need to have something that identifies you. Not that they were wrong. That's what I released first. So what I learned, I guess, from that release is because most of the people who you want to buy your product, you do need to zone in on who that audience is. So
Hmm.
that's fair.
Hmm.
What I also learned is, yeah, if a really popular person, celebrity, hears your project or hears your song and plays it on their one of their social media live broadcasts, all of that what they just told you is out the door because
Hmm.
it's all about the streams and what people want to hear, what the audience craves or who is popular or because there's a lot of music out here.
Hmm.
Then another thing I learned, and someone, it's actually true. They were like, if you're doing music, you better do it because you love it.
Hmm.
Don't be doing it for the money.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna get your feelings hurt.
Hmm.
You may get through, but it's gonna take some work. Or
Hmm.
some people. But
Right.
some money's gonna have to be exchanged.
Hmm.
So you're gonna need a lot of funding. Then I know people will say, no, just do it. Just do it, mistakes and all. It's authentic, it's
Hmm.
organic. So I've learned work at your own pace. Don't rush something. If you're not ready, don't be pressed.
Hmm.
However, the other side of that is don't miss your they say don't miss your window. So it's
Yeah.
what have I learned? Prayer, help God, help me. I don't know. I've learned a lot. And so what I've got from that, I want to release something that I'm confident in or comfortable with.
Hmm.
Everybody's not gonna like it, but if I'll sound cliche, but if at least one person, a few people are touched and around the world, which is crazy too, because I've had the opportunity to travel around the world. So I've made contacts and networked. I didn't say network, just met people
Hmm.
who actually follow. Because social media has made it things so close now. So I've learned put the music out. Don't just put something out, just be putting it out, but believe in it. Work at it, do your best. Don't just put anything out, but don't fine tune it to the point where you've missed 10 years, 10 more years.
Right.
Um, so that's the lesson I've learned. Just do it.
Just do it.
But
Got
also you've met enough people and you've learned, got enough tools to that are right here where you may not need the money you think you need,
you.
but at least put forth the effort. So that's what I've learned.
Got you. I feel that. So yeah, we're gonna get into a couple of segments that we talk to that I ask everybody that comes on the podcast. Top three keyboard players like
Oh
legends
no.
or like you can do more than three because like people will be like, oh, I can't do this three. I'm like, but I still call it top three. So like
Top
top three like
three.
legends, and then like top three like people that you know, like that are your homies that are like, oh, I can call them up. I'm like, you're one of my favorite people I know. If you want to do more than three, you can. If you want to do
Top
more than three, you
three
can do more than three.
legends.
hmm Like legends, like people that came before you, or just like they're up there and like you just don't know them, and then like top three people that you know.
Keyboardist. So,
Keys players. That can mean keys, organ synth. It could be 88 keys, 12 notes.
okay. Two people that easily come to mind. I mean, I never got to meet them.
Mm-hmm.
Kid Korea.
Mm.
He's like my all-time favorite. Joe DeFrancesco. I never
Yeah.
got to
Okay.
meet
Yeah.
him on organ. I never got to meet, of course, Jimmy Smith. I've
Okay.
never
Yeah.
got to meet who's the fifth Beatle. Who's our fifth Beatle? You know him, Billy Preston.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That I named four, didn't I?
That's
So
fine. That's
Chick,
fine.
yeah,
If you want to name more than three, that's fine. I keep
yeah,
the
yeah.
name. I just keep the name. Yeah.
Locally or in my reach. Oh Lord,
hmm Shout him
this
out. Shout him out. Yeah.
shout out more than three, so y'all
Yeah.
can pick the three.
hmm
Corey Henry,
hmm
Justin Gilbert.
For sure.
um, Rest in peace, Sean Martin.
Absolutely.
I'm just you can put them where you want them. John Paul McGee.
Yeah.
Shoot, my girl Cece. Cece's a problem. Colette
CC,
Coward. Colette
no,
Coward.
I mean, like, I don't
A
know who
friend of
this
mine.
is.
She lives here. She's here locally. But I learned I learned some piano dynamics from her like late 90s. Like she played the piano. Like there's so many Myra Walker. You're not gonna catch me. You can pull your three. Oh God. I've mentioned Trent, mentioned Dario.
Mhm.
It's Jaden Organ.
Jaden Arnold.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's Titus Oregon, Titus Robertson. Are
hmm
you trying to get me? Let me think coasts.
Hey, you named nine people.
I
I'm like,
named nine
that's
people. Oh
cool.
shoot.
That's cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I'm like, I ain't. I'm gonna
Trying to
send this
set me
to.
up.
Yeah, nah, you good. You good. You good.
Heck, I like Liberace, like his showmanship.
hmm
Uh,
And like, I don't know who's this that you're talking about.
I said Liberace.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
He's
yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah,
showmanship.
yeah, yeah.
I did that.
Um, what's the next question that I always ask people? The worst gig that you've ever had, or the worst thing that happened to you on a gig.
One thing I can think of right off, I did a gig with a group, their old
Name the
school
group.
group. Really?
I thought you're trying to. No, dude. Yeah.
And I don't know what happened. I was pressing something. I was trying to get to the sounds on the keyboard. I didn't really know the keyboard.
hmm
And you know how those keyboards go.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, I don't think we had ears. And I don't think something was going on. I don't know if it was in the house or the guy was running the house and he muted it, but it was going on way longer than it should have been before I noticed it.
Mm.
So during the show,
Oh no.
nothing to do with what was going on. That was one of the worst gigs. And I remember the look this guy gave me because I'm like, I know I can play. And then I felt helpless because this is one thing I loathe when I'm told to do a gig and the details aren't specific. Hey, can you play keys to fill in? What am I playing? Am I play what part should I be responsible for? That happened with this gig.
Mm.
So, and uh, I guess I overthink.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause remember, I'm the little girl who used to get the tapes out of from me Deacon Bunkley, so
Mm-hmm.
I can hear what I'm doing. So if you sending me music and I hear 10 things going on, am I picking the piano? Do you have the stems? Is it two track? Is it split? Like what?
Like,
I
what
don't
am
have
I
the
doing?
details.
Yeah.
And how do I say this respectfully? Because I'm really not gonna say the group's name. The drummer called me, not to say because it's a drummer they can't know information, but this drummer didn't have the information I needed.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the other keyboard player? What are they playing? I'm coming to fill in. So what's my role? Oh no, you just played. No, that's not how
No,
it
no, no,
works.
no, no. Give me the
So
MD's
then
number.
when I ask the questions, I come off maybe because of the woman factor. As you see where I'm going?
Mm.
I don't want to what's the term? A B or annoying or chatty too.
I
It's
get where
like,
you're coming
no,
from.
I'm asking questions. So that
Yeah.
was probably one of the worst that I can think of right off.
Woo.
I
Those are two
mean,
bad
so
ones.
I'm making up. I think I played stuff, but I wasn't really comfortable because I didn't know what part I'm supposed to pull.
Mm.
Flip
Nah.
side, I did an old school gig where I think we did some songs of that era. How do I say it nice? I feel like I did a really great job. So I was like, okay, so it wasn't me. This was some later, like years later, different people. But I was like, okay, I know I ain't crazy. But at that gig, I was like, can I even play?
Mm-hmm.
Because it wasn't clear. The song list wasn't clear.
Mm.
So that was probably one of the worst ones that I can recall. And I just remember their sound person is looking at me. He had this look like,
Dang.
and yeah, so he passed away. But I remember I'm like, guess he passed away, never knowing I really could play.
Mm. Man, on the
But,
same thing of like the
yes, sir.
keyboard doing the thing, I was at backstage a few years ago. I'd met Lil Jon before this. I'd known Lil Jon. I just got my Modi. Yeah,
Roberts?
well, yeah, Lil Jon Roberts. Lil
Oh,
Jon
just
Roberts.
Freddie. Okay.
Yeah. Lil Jon Roberts. So I was at backstage, and I
Mhm.
I just got my Modi X8 a couple of months ago,
I
and it
have
was
one I'm looking at to my
okay.
left.
You're a Yamaha person? You like Yamaha?
Funny thing, I think I'm gonna switch a little bit because I just did the gig with, oh Jesus, the ministry opportunity with Pastor Donnie. Listen,
Mm-hmm.
and I was complaining to a friend of mine after the gig was over. I was complaining. I complained with anybody who could listen. I
Mm-hmm.
said, I think I'm gonna go back to Roll Love and Rolling, like Juno,
Okay,
Jupiter,
okay.
and the Phantom for aux.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I was on organ aux because I didn't feel that the montage was conducive to what I needed to do. Even though I
Okay.
try to do genre to genre,
Yeah.
like to me, motif, Yamaha's, they work for the gospel.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, nah, forget that. I'm just start thinking odds, odds. Y'all all about to get it. So it's about
Mm-hmm.
to be woo, woo, all
Yeah,
of
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
He about to get that if I get the opportunity again to
Mm-hmm.
do ox. So I said I was like, I'm gonna leave, even though we know it's not a montage, but it's technically a derivative of
Right.
montage. But it was hard to navigate. I had montages though.
Mm, yeah.
And I was like, why is this? I've done this before. It was not cooperating. I said, okay.
Mm,
But go ahead.
gotcha. I had hit the audition button by mistake.
No.
So, and this was with, I'm sure you maybe know Steph Stone, Stefan Stone drummer. Anyways, this was
I know
like
Lil Jon though.
yeah. But Lil Jon. Lil Jon was hosting. But
Oh.
like it hit the audition button and I'm just like, dog, what is this sound coming from? I don't know what this is. And it was just like it just kept on playing, it kept on playing. I'm like, dog, I'm not playing anything. And so it was thankfully it
Oh,
wasn't bad. It wasn't super bad because like thankfully like the stakes weren't super that like weren't very high. But like I didn't know what it was. So like I turned the keyboard off and turned it back on. And then like I started the song on the top keyboard that I had. I had a motif on the top. But it was just like I was like, dog, what it just hit play, just started playing. I'm just like, dog, what are we doing? So anyways, that happened. That was
wow.
2021. That was a few years ago.
Oh,
Yeah, but hey, it happens. Um,
Oh,
yeah,
how long did it go?
it felt like forever. It felt like forever. It was probably like 20 seconds, and then like I was like,
Oh
all right,
no, that
'cause I just,
I think that
yeah,
went the whole time.
yeah. Um, build your super group. Now this is gonna be a hard question. Everyone gets stumped on this. Build your own super group. You've got an unlimited budget. You got unlimited availability. You can choose whatever group of musicians to back up whatever artist you want to. These can be anybody. Just build keys, at least keys, bass, drums, and then like an artist. But if you want to add a horn section, you can do that. I've had people add strings. I've had people do aux keys and organ, whatever, whatever. But just build whatever group of musicians you feel would be good to accompany whatever vocalist that you want to. Unlimited budget, unlimited availability. This can be anybody.
Band?
Band and vocalist, yeah. Like build the band.
Okay. You're not gonna get me, so I'm gonna play around with this.
Use whoever you want.
Okay. What year when?
Now.
Super group with the band and vocalist.
Mm-hmm.
Or the lead, the main person or just the
Like
BGVs.
choose in like build it from the ground up, whoever you want. This is like a show that you're putting on one night only, unlimited budget, unlimited availability. That
That's
means
a
you could have
good. That's good.
thank
He
you,
said,
thank
I
you, thank you.
know, I
Thank you, thank
know.
you.
You're welcome.
I'm like, you could build a super group of like this person's bass player, person's drummer, and they're backing up Stevie Wonder and Diana Ross. Like it could literally be anybody. They just have to be alive.
Okay. Okay.
Here we go.
Oh, you set me up. Okay. Okay. If it's Oh, you set me up. People answered this?
Everybody's answered it.
Okay. If it's an all girl situation,
Mm.
I'm gonna have I'm just move fast so I don't have to think about it. I'm gonna have me, Keyz, me, Tracy,
Tracy on Martin.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
and Cassandra on keys. However, the flip. I guess I could be on or however the flip is.
Mm-hmm.
On bass, I'm gonna go different because we gonna have different little segments because you playing with me. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
have Tiffany from DMV, Tasia, and
Tasia
Donna.
Gill.
Yes, Tasia and Hawkins. I was messing up her last name.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going by her married name. On guitar, I'm gonna have this girl Emily. That's the off the top, and she can pick the other. See, you playing with me? She can pick the other two. On drums, I'm gonna go to. You see what I'm doing? 3-3-3 kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna have Jay Latoya.
Mm-hmm. Just worked with her.
I'm gonna have Diarchus,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna have Monica.
Miz. I know all of them.
Okay.
I know all of them. Yeah,
But now
yeah.
I'm gonna have let they can fight over who doing what. No, for real. We can
Yeah, yeah.
we'll work that out. What's gonna who's gonna be what? And somebody might be on percussion, but still
Mm-hmm.
in the mix. On BGVs, I'm gonna use Iani. Her name is Iana. Iani, Shea Butter, my friend Tara. Then Sherry. Sherry also sings with Mariah. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna pull Javon Woods. That's five. Because it's all girls camp.
Hmm.
I'm gonna make sure. So Javon is soprano, Sherry's alto, Tara is alto, Shea Butter's a soprano. So now I need two tenors. Yanni can do whatever. A lot of them can do whatever. I need another person.
Hmm.
BGV's girl. Zaviel. That's Zavi. That's off the top of my head.
Hmm. And who's the main artist?
The main artist. Dang. I did all that. I was like, oh dang, she passed away. The main artist for that. This is so I don't care. Because this is just a random I can
Yeah,
pick.
who they backing up? Who they backing up?
We backing up. Has Jasmine Sullivan ever had a real like situation like that?
Jasmine Sullivan. Okay.
So I did 333. I'm gonna do three. We
Okay.
back. I'm doing it with my standing with my chest.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
We backing up Jasmine Sullivan, Beyonce. I don't
Mm.
know why Rihanna is popping up in my head. Probably because they get a really good salary when they go perform.
Mm. That's a
Top
big
of my
good.
head.
That's a good show. That's a
Top
good
of my
show.
head. Top of my head. Just but I'm sure you be like, what about so and so? That's top of my head. Okay. Now my the homeboys, my boys, my guys. Okay. Drums. Well, okay, keys. Ooh, that's a lot.
Hmm.
Me. Or as Wayne would say, May. M-A-Y.
Yeah.
Me, let's see. Me. Justin Gill. I'm
Hmm.
over he overdue for me giving them showing some love. Um, so it's three. Who I like. I
If you
love a
want,
lot of people,
if you
but
want to, I was like, you put a lot of people on this gig. I was like, if you
I
want to put,
can.
I was like, this is your,
This
yeah,
mine.
yeah,
This the guys. This the
yeah,
I
yeah.
gave my
So
girls,
that's the
but I
girl
can put
version.
whoever.
That's the girl version
That's the
of the
soul
show.
soul girl. But I'm sure
Okay.
it's some other people in there because we got people because people can't make it or whatever. But top of head, whatever.
Hmm.
But it's some other people in that. But so back over here. So what I said, Gilbert,
Hmm.
me,
Yeah.
my boy Brandon, because oh no, let's go back over to the girls. I left out something.
Hmm.
We got to have playback. So we got people do other things.
Right. Right.
So, ooh, I don't know her name, so she can't come. So let me see. Cause yeah, we gotta have playback too. Jay could do that. It's enough in the mix. I need some more technical people in the mix
Hmm.
to do playback. I don't know this girl's name, but we'll call her playback girl. She
Hmm.
coming too.
Hmm.
Because we gotta have playback.
Right.
Okay, get back over here. Oh, we didn't get audio. So she'll get.
Oh, you talk about we don't have to we don't
Oh,
have
we're
to do
not doing
Cooper.
that?
No, we ain't got to
Okay.
do Cooper. Yeah,
Okay, so we doing players. Okay. So what I
yeah,
said, me,
yeah,
Justin.
yeah.
I like my boy Brandon. Brewington.
Brandon.
Brewington.
Okay.
Because yeah. Okay. Bass. Ooh. 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 Mm. I got this bass. Musically,
Yeah, yeah. Like I said,
because there's a lot in
you've
huh?
already completed the assignment. You don't need if you
Oh, don't mess with the guys, leave them
I,
alone.
I this is your show. This is the show that you curated. You already did complete the assignment, and you did way more than like what a lot of people have done. Having three people for each instrument, that's a good one. I've never had anybody do that. If you
You
don't want
give
to
me, you
stress
give me,
yourself out,
you give me, get out of jail.
I'm trying to. I'm trying to.
So let's do this. To be
Mhm.
continued.
All right, cool, cool, cool.
So we stop with that. We'll get out of there.
Cool. All right. What's the last thing that you want to leave with the people? Where's the motivation, inspiration, wisdom, all that good stuff? Yeah.
Oh, I already said it, didn't I? Let's
You did have
see.
a lot of inspiration and wisdom and stuff, but it's good, a thing, to wrap it up, top it off, all that good stuff.
I guess I'll say a line again. I'll be more dramatic. Never stop growing and learning. Things that stop growing are not alive. Stay teachable. None of us know it all. And life can change at any moment. So, and let's also consider even though I know I've heard people say there's no plan B, but it's always cool to have something in place in case playing does not work out. But with that being said, let's savor our moments and enjoy our journey and always be kind to people. You never know who's going to be in that top seat. You
Mm,
should just be kind just as an individual. But for those who need a little more help with that, you should already, but I have that kind of time to teach that. But please always be kind to people. Everybody, Dr. Joyce Johnson told me that everybody's important. I was like, why do you always just give everybody all this time when they hug? She plays pipe organ,
okay.
Spelman College. And she was like, I said, you treated everybody like they were important. She said, everybody is. I said, as simple as that was, it was like, ding,
Hmm.
everybody is. So do that because everybody is. Treat everybody as if they're important. So, which translating that to your gigs, every gig is important. I know that you mentioned somebody crashed and burned a local gig, but the big gig they raised up as far as high status or caliber, so they should study for that. No, every gig is important. Your $100 gig, your 100K gig. Hear me, God?
Hmm.
So, treat it with respect. That's mine. That's what I leave.
Got you. We'll take it. Socials so for the people to find you,
Natalie Ragins. Natalie Ragins.
and that's you everywhere: Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff,
Instagram, yeah, yeah. Facebook,
or wherever
yes.
it matters.
Yes, wherever it matters, because some socials people are running away.
Right, right, right.
Yeah, so yes, I'm Natalie Ragins.
Hmm. Appreciate you being on. Y'all get Natalie's latest single. As of right now, it's her latest single, "I'll Stand," featuring Miranda Curtis.
Oh yeah, so
Um,
you check me out. Yes, sir.
Come
That's
on
my
now,
gospel roots.
yeah, yeah. So as of right now, it's the latest single. Maybe by the time like this gets put out, there might be another one. Might be another one.
Amen.
It'll be in the description. But as always, y'all keep pressing on. We'll see y'all next time.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity, Zach. Blessings to you.